Hey friends, how's it going? It is Friday, the 25th of May, about 11 o'clock on the East Coast, and supporting Memorial Day weekend. Get out there, barbecue, get out there, be with your friends and family. Support America, support the troops, support being patriotic, right? Push out into the streets, push it out, being extremely positive. We got no new Q. There hasn't been any Q in a couple days, but I have a ton of memes to go over. There is some pretty shocking news about Harvey Weinstein today. What is this talk about Trump backing out of the summit meeting with Kim Jong-un, and now there were words said and now there aren't. Is this all theatrical? My gut tells me yes, that there is a problem with maybe perhaps the deep state, or it's all theatrical for some sort of reason, but we'll figure it out soon, right? So if you're new to this channel, please click that blue bell so you get notifications. I am still shadow banned. I've lost one strike. I have one more strike to go, and that strike will be gone on the 31st. So let's go ahead and hop into this. All right, this is True Reporting. So if we look just at some couple news articles right here, this is the big one for today. So Harvey Weinstein is charged with rape and sex abuse in cases involving two women. Now, earlier the week we saw the Morgan Freeman, the black actor, was called out, and everyone's up in arms. Oh my God, not him. But yeah, I mean, I think that there's an initiation for anyone. That goes for anybody that is within Hollywood, that you have to do these things if you want to make money and if you want to be something out there. I think it's just like in politics. I think it's just like in the cabal. They have to blackmail you so that they control you, and every one of these people has handlers, even Harvey Weinstein. But anyways, Harvey Weinstein is charged with rape and sex abuse in cases involving two women. New York, CNN, Harvey Weinstein turned himself into authorities Friday morning and was arrested and arraigned on charges of first and third degree rape and committing a criminal sexual act in the first degree, according to Manhattan District Attorney's Office. The charges stem from incidents with two separate women in 2013 and 2004. The district attorney said in a statement, and were the result of a joint investigation between police and Manhattan District Attorney's Office. As a part of the agreement between Brofman, Weinstein's attorney, Benjamin Brofman, we've heard that name come up before, told reporters outside the courthouse that his client plans to plead not guilty to all of the charges. Weinstein's bond is set at $10 million. So he's got two charges against him. I mean, he probably should have about 250 more charges and should be spend life in prison. But, I'm not the one to make that call. I wish I was. So, yeah, I mean, this guy's scum. We know he's scum. We've looked into all of this with him. I guarantee you he's a pedophile, blah, blah, blah. Hope he rots in hell. So, yeah, that's the big news for today that came out. I'm glad it happened because justice is being served all over. Then I saw this on the Daily Mail. Harry and Meghan are cousins, talking about the royal wedding. Remarkable family tree dating back to 1480 reveals royal is related to his girlfriend. So just like, it always goes, they have to keep that bloodline. They have to. Why? That's a good question, and I'm not going to go into that conspiracy, but that is a good question. So, yeah, a genealogical investigation by the Mail on Sunday reveals that Meghan Left and Harry Wright are distant cousins, related through a late 15th century ancestor of the Queen Mother. So, yeah, very strange stuff. We all have our speculations on why they keep that bloodline pure, but I'm not going to go into that right now. You can definitely go down that rabbit hole. So I saw this, and this was from the 23rd, 2 days ago. The government of Sweden has produced a 20-page pamphlet which they'll be sending to each of the 4.8 million households in the country, urging them to prepare for war. Although they haven't been in war for over 200 years, for some reason right now, they want their citizens to get prepped and fast. This goes along with an article I wrote in January of 2018 when the government urged their people to be ready to cope without help for at least a week. So, we all know what's going on over there. Rape is rampant through migrants coming in. It's really bad. So yeah, increased tension in the Baltic region. The brochure warns Swedes of things that every prepper knows in the event of a societal emergency. Help will be provided to those who need it most. The majority must be prepared to cope on their own for some time. Here's the Swedish website. The Locals has to say about the warnings. Water, food, and warmth. Checklist of foodstuffs. The booklet also has a checklist to help Swedes be better prepared to cope with misleading information and influence operations, noting that the best protection against false information and hostile propaganda is to critically appraise the source by asking questions like, is this factual information or an opinion? And who has put this out? So, yeah, I mean, why is this going on? This is 2 days ago. That's a good question. Does it have something to do with the EU? Does it have something to do with Stockholm Syndrome? I don't know, but it says, but speaking of propaganda, there is no mention of the unchecked immigration that has turned parts of the major cities into war zones. Yeah, because they have to be PC, right? Is it possible that the war of which they are warning could be a civil one? An influx of asylum seekers from the Middle East and Africa has strained the welfare system and the criminal justice system. The crime in Malmo and Stockholm has skyrocketed. You can read about these articles here. Like I said, the attempted rape of girls under 15 increased by 16%. Rape of teens in that same date and age range up is 19%. Rape against adult women increased by 7%. I mean, this is not... There's reason for stereotypes, and I'm not a PC person, and I'll just say it, they have no gun zones, and then they come back and say, well, there aren't any no-go zones, so it's like, we know you're covering it up. Like, when people of the cabal, there's people that it's called projection, when you basically just go against what they're saying, it's just the opposite. A mirror effect. It's pretty pathetic. But yeah, politically correct laws of Sweden means that perpetrators cannot be described to the public, including their ethnicity. The women of Sweden have had to change how they live or risk being attacked. So, it's a sick, sad world over there. But, is it their own fault? Perhaps, Perhaps they got all their weapons taken away and they have zero borders. So there's that, They have no way to defend themselves and no one to help them as of yet because the EU backs immigration. So let's get into some of these memes and some more news. This is from, I believe, a couple days ago when I did my last podcast. Maybe my computer froze. Here we go. Okay, so it says Anonymous 521. Fingers crossed. Q posted love is patient, love is kind yesterday and way back on November 1st. If May 20th equals November 1st, then May 23rd equals November 4th, as in primary fallout, which is slated to occur 11.3 November 11th or November 3rd, upon the arrest announcement of Mr. Podesta, auctionable on the 4th of November. POTUS tweets about the Podesta brother. Seem to come in out of nowhere. Time for them to really eat the pain. So, yeah, I mean, a lot of this stuff is just a puzzle. It's a giant puzzle, and if you start figuring out the dates, then, a lot of this can lead out into order, to a numerical order, and to a timeline. So let's go. I think this is more of the same, which I'm going to read to you because it's pretty cool. Q Clearance Patriot here. This is from November 1st, 2017. My fellow Americans, over the course of the next several days, you will undoubtedly realize that we are taking back our great country, the land of the free, from the evil tyrants that wish to do us harm and destroy the last remaining refuge of shining light. On POTUS's order, we have initiated certain fail-safes that shall safeguard the public from the primary fallout, which is slated to occur on 11/3. Upon the arrest announcement of Mr. Podesta, auctionable 11/4. Confirmation to the public of what is occurring will then be revealed and will not be openly accepted. Public riots are being organized in serious numbers in an effort to prevent the arrest and capture of more senior public officials. On POTUS's order, a state of temporary military control will be actioned and special ops carried out. False leaks have been made to retain several within the confines of the United States to prevent extradition and special operator necessity. Rest assured, the safety and well-being of every man, woman, and child of this country is being exhausted in full. However, the atmosphere within the country will unfortunately be divided, as so many have fallen for the corrupt and evil narrative that has long been broadcast. We will be initiating the emergency broadcast system, EMS, during this time in an effort to provide a direct message avoiding the fake news to all citizens. Organizations and or people that wish to do us harm during this time will be met with a swift fury. Certain laws have been pre-lifted to provide our great military the necessary authority to handle and conduct these operations at home and abroad. So we go back 11/3 to 11/4. Is this saying that this is coming up now, right? Isn't that what this is saying? So if May 20th is November 1st, and then May 23rd is November 4th, as in primary fallout, which is slated to occur 11/3. Announcement of Podesta, auctionable 11/4. So, we're 2 days past this. Was it true? As of right now, no. But he did mention the Podesta brothers. Maybe it's just not that time. But that was, thrown out into the blue like that. POTUS did. So this is somebody I really hope that you guys follow on Twitter. Mike Flynn Jr. Bill Mitchell says, when all is said and done, Obama could end up in prison, and I'm not kidding. Mike Flynn replies, don't get my hopes up, Bill. So, yeah, he's pretty crucial on Twitter, and it's very cool. We can look right here. Archbishop Philip Wilson found guilty of covering up child sex abuse. The Adelaide Archbishop is the most senior Catholic in the world to be convicted of concealment. Pope will be having a terrible May. Those who backed him will be pushed into the light. So how truthful was that? How do people not believe Q, man? This is unbelievable. Rod Rosenstein just left White House. Popcorn. So is Rosenstein a white hat? I'm on the fence about that, but I'm guessing it is. And we see POTUS, it's time. It is happening now, right? It's occurring as I speak. Where else do we have? So we had this going on. This was in the Q post last time. And if we see this, this is flying over Hong Kong. Q's new drop has a screenshot from his crumb in November with a picture titled Air Force One 5A2. He then reposts that photo along with Air Force One FA3, which is taken minutes after to prove that it is the same Q from the beginning. Both over Hong Kong, both different pictures. How he knew to took the same coordinates, almost the exact same photo, is incredible. Mike Flynn Jr. again. If there was nothing to hide, there'd be no stonewalling. Someone's hiding something big. DOJ, FBI, congressional oversight. That is true. And that IG report will show it all. Mike Flynn Jr., there are people who know the content of those emails. The content was so terrible, the deputy director of the FBI sat on them to protect a presidential candidate's guaranteed election win. Let that sink in. UMA email horror returns to haunt the FBI brass in IG report on Clinton's case. You know, all these people they will go to Gitmo. I don't think someone is too mainstream that they won't go to Gitmo. I don't, or even they won't be able to walk down the street, as Q says. So they're going to have to be thrown into Gitmo, or they're going to be put in front of a firing squad. I'm going to take Gitmo. Let them rot. You don't sit on emails, Mike Flynn Jr. says, or other content on a laptop unless it's really incriminating. Otherwise, the FBI would have given up with no issue. Common sense. Let Eric speak. Eric Prince. So, right, yeah. I mean, if that Hillary video's on there, there's a lot of stuff coming that's on that laptop. It's damning, remember? Cheryl Atkinson, flood is coming. Doesn't that revert back to a Q post? The storm is here. This is from Lionel Nation. Bombshell reveals a huge grand jury is already hearing evidence. We are on the verge of a huge political explosion. Bombshell reveals a grand jury already is hearing evidence. Wow. That's all they needed to do was get the court system cleaned. That's all they needed to do. So right here, we are on the verge of a huge political explosion. While there have been calls for a special counsel to investigate the DOJ and the FBI scandals, and many conservatives have been outraged in seeming passivity of Gentleman Jeff Sessions, aka Sessions, in some quarters. It now is clear, as I have already figured, that a grand jury far outside the Beltway already is hearing evidence dug up by the DOJ Inspector General Michael Horowitz, whose report is now believed to be coming in April. Following release of that report, expect heads to explode all over the media, all over the deep state, and among never-Trumpers. The first hint that the wheels of the justice already are turning came on March 7th when AG Sessions revealed to Shannon Bream. So pretty crazy. Okay, so this is referring back to those pictures. I doubt I'll be able to read this. Do they look very similar, don't they? Not more than a few seconds apart while on board the Speedy Air Force One, or so the file name says. So we see these 11/9/2017, 5/22/2018. As you can see, it looks almost like the same damn photo. Could those actually be taken from Air Force One? Let's apply autism, and here we go, both of the pictures. And you can see, right, Trump's possible flight path right through here. I know it's a little blurry, but Q's picture is only 9 minutes off. Estimated flight path time. Times given in tweets won't be exact liftoff landing times, but time frames can be estimated. That's true. Okay, here's some more decoding. So we see here, did you see Ryan, Paul Ryan's interview? Rapid fire, flood is coming. Again, reverting back to Q. CNN in the kill box. We look here. Sessions appointing Utah federal prosecutor, much better for Trump than second special counsel. Capital punishment in Utah. Utah was the first state to resume executions. What? Oh my God. Okay, down here to Speaker Ryan addresses FBI source controversy. Speaker Ryan addresses FBI source controversy. Rapid fire, flood is coming. CNN, subject line, flood is coming. So that's pretty crazy, isn't it? That the executions are still, going strong in Utah. So let's look at this. Okay, the stage is properly known for the acronym DABDA, including in the kill box 4. Denial. The first reaction is denial in this stage. Individuals believe the diagnosis is somehow mistaken. And cling to reality. Right, that's called insanity, right? Anger. When the individual recognizes that denial cannot continue, they become frustrated, especially at approximate individuals. Certain psychological response of a person undergoing this phase would be, why me? It's not fair. How can this happen to me? Who is to blame? Why Why would this happen? Bargaining. The third stage involves the hope that the individual can avoid a cause of grief. Usually the negotiation for extended life is made in exchange for a reformed lifestyle. People facing less serious trauma can bargain or seek compromise. For instance, I give anything to have him back, or if only he'd come back to life, I'd promise to be a better person. Depression. I am so sad. Why bother anything? I'm going to die soon, so what's the point? I miss my loved one. Why go on? During the fourth stage, the individual despairs at the recognition of their mortality. In this state, the individual may become silent, refuse visitors, and spend much of the time mournful and sullen. Acceptance. It's going to be okay. I can't fight it. I may as well prepare for it. In the last stage, individuals embrace mortality, inevitable future, that of a loved one or other tragic event. People dying may precede the survivors in this state, which typically comes with a calm, retrospective view of the individual and a stable condition of emotions. So I don't know what this is about. This could be about how this person views the cabal or people coming out, but I don't think these people think like this. I think they're all sociopaths and they're all psychotic. I don't think they care. I think they'll fight until they're killed. I don't think they'll stop at anything. I think they're so delusional that they will never stop until they are behind bars or dead. So that's what I'm saying. When it becomes, excuse my French, but balls to the wall, things can get pretty scary, because who knows what kind of, false flags they'll pull. So I saw this. This was on Hannity. Flood is coming, and then this was titled Flood is Coming. So are they talking about CNN? Are they talking about more red pilling, more proof? Who knows? But it's interesting nonetheless. Look how things have turned around on the criminal deep state. They go after phony collusion with Russia, a made-up scam, and end up getting caught in a major spy scandal, the likes of which this country may never have seen before. What goes around comes around. That's right. You're scum. We'll skip that one. See what else we got here. Okay, so this was pretty cool too, right? Breaking. FBI. Pedophile Jeffrey Epstein was informant for Mueller's FBI. Special counsel under fire for deal with sex offender. Wow. He was an informant, and that just tells you what kind of guy. I mean, that are tied into the FBI, right? So this is this is from Donald Trump, I believe, to Kim Jong-un. We greatly appreciate your time, patience, and effort with respect to our recent negotiations and discussions relative to a summit long sought by both parties, which was scheduled to take place on June 12th in Singapore. We were informed that the meeting was requested by North Korea, but that to us is totally irrelevant. I was very much looking forward to being there with you. Sadly, based on the tremendous anger and open hostility displayed in your most recent statement, I feel it is inappropriate at this time to have this long-planned meeting. Therefore, please let this letter serve to represent that the Singapore summit, for the good of both parties, but to the detriment of the world, will not take place. You talk about your nuclear capabilities, but ours are so massive and powerful that I pray to God they will never have to be used. If you change your mind having to do with this most important summit, please do not hesitate to call or write. The world, and North Korea in particular, has lost a great opportunity for lasting peace and great prosperity and wealth. This missed opportunity is a truly sad moment in history. Now, is all of this theatrical? I mean, I know Kim Jong-un's ties are cut, but North Korea says Trump's decision to scrap U.S.-North Korea summit is not in line with the world's wishes, willing to resolve the issues with the United States. So, yeah, I mean, it's just, did something happen that made them feel uncomfortable? Who knows, right? We don't know at the moment. If we look here, Killbox, down to here, we control utility. The news that day. Trump Twitter blocking violates First Amendment court rules. The interactive space around Trump's tweet is a public forum, judge rules. Timothy Bell 523. This is about Trump, that he cannot block users on Twitter because it violates his First Amendment, making Twitter a public forum or utility. The 23rd. So, yeah. That's what's going on. So, are they trying to end all this silencing of conservative, free-thinking people? Not even Democratic or Republican. Just free-thinking. They just want to silence, right? North Korea says it's ready to talk to U.S. at any time, in any way, and that was yesterday. So, again, I'm just bringing this to your attention. Here's something I found pretty crazy. Something was sent to me. This is from WikiLeaks, and it says frozen penguin pineal glands will be shipped PA 204 to New York, and nationals arriving in Boston. So this is within the, I don't want to jump the gun, but is this one of the emails to Hillary? I'm not seeing that right now, so I'm not going to say. But it is going to New York, right? Shipment of frozen penguin glands. Some of you esoteric people out there will know what that's about. Very, very strange. Look into pineal glands. Look into spirit cooking. Look into pedovore. Look into these things. It has a lot to do with pineal glands, youth regeneration, health, a lot of stuff like that. Why do they do that? Does it have to do with a lot of esoteric stuff? I mean, I believe it does. So President Trump spelled Kim Jong-un's name two different ways on Twitter. Kim Jong-un, then Kim Jong-un. One with a U, one with a O. Jung with the U in Korean means a friend that you deeply care about. No English equivalent. Jong with an O in Korean means slave. President Trump was declaring his friendship with Kim, letting him know Kim was being freed. And Jung, not a Jung to President Trump. A Jung, not a Jung to President Trump. So a Jung is a friend that you deeply care about. No English equivalent. So freed, a Jung, not a Jung to President Trump. Brilliant and beautiful. Well, that seems derogatory, right? Or am I wrong? The top one. The Jung to Jung in Korean is a friend that you deeply care about, but this is saying it's not. So, I don't know. That was strange. I don't know if that Anon was correct about that. In 2018, Donald Trump published 16 executive orders from Executive Order 13820 through Executive Order 835. The next one to be published is number 17, aka the Q Executive Order. And last but not least, the 45th President of the United States has changed, Donald Trump has changed his header with this, the NYFD, New York Fire Department, and we see 55. Remember the Q post 5:5. Very cool. But there are no coincidences, right? And those are very much, it's almost like they're standing out towards us, right? But anyways, guys, that's the podcast for today. I really hope you all have a very memorable Memorial Day. Be with your family, be with your friends, be kind to one another, love one another. Thank you, patriots out there that are in law enforcement and are overseas and fought for this country and fought for freedom. I really appreciate it. I'm in debt to you, and I really hope that you enjoy this weekend because it's all for you. Anyways, guys, be safe out there, and I'll talk to you guys soon. All right, bye.